Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the board, and thank you for this opportunity that you're giving us all today. I'm here to speak about the Act relative to human rights and improved outcomes for incarcerated people. In large part, this bill is about accountability to the DOC to do what their name says, to create corrections, to eliminate the toxic environments, to reduce the self-harm and the mental health issues. As we all know, the DOC is constantly in flux whenever it changes from administrators to politics or whatever it might be. Today, we operate in a culture of punishment. K2 is one of the most impactful things that we deal with in the prison environment. We keep losing items, and the DOC only has one policy. They have no treatment plan for it. You do public records, they'll tell you they have no treatment plan. It's only about punishment. Loss of contact visits, loss of family contact, loss of community support, fines, fees, etc. This brings a sense of hopelessness. Unfortunately, in the last few weeks, this sense of hopelessness created 2 suicides of men that were under the influence and were struggling with K2 addiction. These men were housed in the BAU, which they say is no longer segregation. However, it is still segregation. Their families now have to deal with their deaths from hanging. And these can be attributed directly to their addiction and the lack of treatment that they received. This is all compounded by DOC regulation and policy. 103 CMR 46507 limits eligibility and access to programming to those within 18 months of release. It's set in policy. So if someone's doing 6 years in prison, they tell them, go hang out for 4.5 years, no programming or anything. That's in their policy. That can be checked. Lifers are excluded from the education and reentry continuum. These are harmful. Lifers are the bedrock. They're the backbone. They're the encouragers. They're the ones that train everybody else that keep things stable. Unfortunately, the DOC continues down this road. Just in the past few months, the DOC took the jobs at MCI Norfolk, the prisoner jobs, from 800 and cut them to approximately 400. What this did is put 400 people out of jobs, out of income, out of legitimate income. And so now a new guy that comes in can't get a job for several months or maybe even a year. And if he can't get that, he's going to resort to other things, to buy a TV, to buy canteen, to buy cosmetics. The fact is that there's a vast amount of legislation in front of you today, and that should tell you something. That should tell you that there's a problem in the DOC, bigger than any one of these pieces of legislation says, and there needs to be action. I implore you to support this bill and to vote it forward. Thank you.